Well, good morning, Toastmasters and honored guests. Today, I will be discussing Toastmasters online learning platform pathways, and I'll be going over level 1 of pathways as well as showing you a few useful features. So my objectives for the presentation today are to explain what pathways is, how to choose a pathway and show what that looks like. We'll also become familiar with the format and features of the projects within Pathways. And again, I'll show you 2 useful features that I found on Pathways. So let's start from the beginning. So you most likely joined Toastmasters to improve your public speaking skills, but you'll notice we don't just get up here and start talking in front of people. We have a very structured meeting that consists of 3 parts. We have the prepared speeches portion, which is what we're doing right now. Our next portion will be table topics, and then our last portion of our meeting will be evaluations. There are 7 roles that we need to fill for every meeting, and there's a lot of planning, preparing, collaboration, and communication between members that occurs behind the scenes just so we can get up here and practice our public speaking. So this is more than just public speaking. You inadvertently walk away with leadership skills, and Pathways is where these skills are explained or mapped out for you. So what is Pathways? I would explain Pathways to a new member as somewhat of an online college or online course to develop your communication and leadership skills. So you'll get a member ID when you join, you'll log on to Pathways, and you'll first take an online assessment, which consists of multiple choice questions asking you about what your goals are, what your skills are before you go through our Toastmasters Pathways program. And at the end, it'll give you a path to follow. There are 11 paths available, and each path consists of 5 levels. The deadline on when you complete this path is up to you. You could take 5 months or 5 years, but of course we recommend that you keep consistent or you keep on top of these paths or levels. That way you keep your momentum going and you get the most out of your experience. So here are the 11 paths offered in Pathways. The link to this is below. When you click on any one of these icons, it'll explain to you what this path is, and it'll map out the 5 levels that you'll need to reach to accomplish this. So let's take a look at my pathway. So I took that online assessment, and it told me the best path for you is the innovative planning path. It has a little description here in the top. And it shows the 5 levels that I need to master in order to master innovative planning, to become a better leader and communicator. Now, I'm going over level 1 today, which is mastering fundamentals. This is the same for every pathway across the board. So we'll all do the same speeches or the same projects in level 1. Once you get to levels 2 through 5, it'll deviate a little bit depending on what your path is. So level 1 of Pathways. So you've decided to join Toastmasters, you took the online assessment, you got a path, and now you're here at level 1. So what that entails is 3 projects. You'll do your icebreaker speech, which is a 4 to 6 minute speech introducing yourself to the club. You'll do an evaluation and feedback speech, which is a 5 to 7 minute speech where you just give a presentation on anything and you'll get evaluated by a member. You'll take that feedback and you'll either repeat that same speech a second time at a future meeting and you'll apply the feedback, or you'll do a different speech, but you'll apply the feedback you received in that initial speech. The third part of that project is you will be the evaluator for another club member, so you'll be giving an evaluation of another speech. The third project is researching and presenting, which is a 5 to 7 minute speech on a topic you're not familiar with and you have to do a little bit of research, and then you'll present that to the club. So each project comes with an interactive PowerPoint presentation or slides and some checklists to help guide you on completing the project, and an evaluation, an assessment that you'll take before you do the speech and after to see how your skills are, an evaluation form, and a print my project form link, which I like because this is basically all 4 of these things in one nice little booklet or a manual. So those of you that are still working out of the manual, so to speak, that manual is available for you to print in Pathways. If you just feel like you'd rather print and read off of that, you could still do that in Pathways. That's not an issue. Okay, so let's visit. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So, are you able to see my screen for Icebreaker?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So this is the slides I was telling you about earlier. This is your first project in Toastmasters will be your Icebreaker speech. So when you log on to Toastmasters, this is the slide you'll see. That'll give you instructions to go through this. Hold on. Oh, here we are. So I'm just going to move through this pretty quickly just to show you what this looks like. There's a lot of slides telling you what a Icebreaker speech is, how to prepare for that, etc. There's some, here you'll see the assessment you'll take before you give your Icebreaker or work on it. There's some interactive videos that'll help you, well, that'll just teach you or show you how to give your Icebreaker. Instead of just reading about it, you'll have an actual video. And it comes with some outlines, some worksheets, again, that'll help you prepare and write your speech. Okay, so there's a assessment after you do your project to see what you've learned and how you've improved. And I just want to show you some of the outlines or checklists. This is your project checklist that comes in that PowerPoint. This is your speech outline worksheet. That'll help you write your speech. And let me see if I can get this. This is that, basically all those slides I just showed you, it's compiled into a nice little booklet or manual. So I believe those of you that are working off the manual, this is what you'll be, this is what you're using. Sorry, it's a little slow to scroll. But just know that that's available to you. You could still work out of the booklet. All of that stuff is here for you in a nice little booklet. The only disadvantage is you won't have those interactive buttons or those video tutorials. You'll have to log in to toastmasters.org to see or view those. But it's all packed together nicely for you. Okay, are you able to see my PowerPoint again? Sorry.
Yes.
Great.
I
Okay.
can see only the project checklist.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. What is it showing now? Is it showing you the PowerPoint?
Your PowerPoint, you're good.
Okay, thanks. So I showed you that Icebreaker PowerPoint, and again, once you complete that first speech, you'll move on to your second speech, which is your evaluation and feedback speech, and then your third speech, and then you'll get to level 1 completion. So at this point, you'll hit this little button. It'll send a notice to our VP of Education, Eleanor Johnson, and she will verify that you have in fact completed all 3 speeches successfully, and then you'll get a certificate at the end saying, congratulations, you completed level 1 of your path. So I just want to show a few features that I find useful. There's the feedback feature in Pathways, which allows you to request feedback from another member. You'll just log in, go to your Basecamp, and look for this feedback tab. And here again, you can ask for feedback from any one of the members. You can ask for feedback from one member or multiple members. You can also provide feedback for other members as well. So those of you that went to our in-person Toastmasters meetings, you'll remember that we would always have that little slip of paper that we could write an evaluation for our speakers, even if we weren't an evaluator that day, or just some words of encouragement or some friendly critique. You could do that here under the feedback tab. So I encourage everyone to challenge yourself, get on Pathways this weekend or today, and request feedback from another member or provide feedback for another member, and just figure out that feature so we can get our feet wet with the program. Another feature I find useful is the e-portfolio. This is where you could save all of your work. So today I would save my PowerPoint here. I would save any of those worksheets, the outline worksheets that I filled out. I would save my certificate here in the e-portfolio. It's just useful to have all your materials and record of what you did in one place on the website instead of, say, on your own desktop. So the e-portfolio is separated into 5 levels. So you complete your level 1 work or your first 3 speeches, you put that in your level 1 folder, and then you can access it later in the future if you need references like, did you complete that certificate, or what was my evaluation form like? It's just a nice place to have everything. So in conclusion, Pathways is Toastmasters quote-unquote online college for developing leadership and communication skills. There are 11 paths available consisting of 5 levels. Level 1 is mastering fundamentals. We all have to go through the same level. You'll do your icebreaker, feedback and evaluation speech, and your research and planning speech. Project format is you get that detailed PowerPoint, which comes with video tutorials or interactive buttons, or you have the option to print the manual in a nice little booklet you can take with you on the go and just write your notes in it physically. Again, I invite you to challenge yourselves, get on Pathways, navigate it, leave some feedback for another member, leave some feedback for myself, or I'll even request feedback from you. Just respond to that. And make sure you check out ePortfolio. Save all your work in one location on Pathways. And that's it. Thank you, everybody. I hope you are encouraged to try Pathways and get online before June. Back to you, Sergio. Thank you.